So Kenobi has come and gone, and it's time to look into the future. So what's next after Kenobi, and what does Lucasfilm have in store for us Star Wars fans in the remaining months of 2022? Well, you're about to find out. Here is every confirmed Star Wars show slated to arrive in 2022, and everything you need to know about these shows. First up, we have the Andor show. Set up as a prequel story to Diego Luna's character, Cassian Andor, which was first introduced in Rogue One, the show promises to be a spy thriller set in the waning days of the Republic and into the early days of the Empire. The show is set 5 years before the end of Rogue One and will explore the birth of the rebellion as well as the transformation of Cassian from a self-serving nihilist to a selfless martyr. It has also been described as a refugee story with countless people fleeing the Empire as it begins to exert control over key planets and resources, and how that radicalizes and turns the average person cynical. Given that Season 1 is only the first part of something bigger, the show will see Cassian displaced from his homeworld by the Empire and later watch his second homeworld torn apart by the Empire again. There will also be plenty of flashback to Cassian's childhood and his experiences with the Empire as well. The show has dropped a trailer already, and it is currently set to premiere on September 31st of 2022. The show will feature other notable characters such as Mon Mothma, played by Genevieve O'Reilly, and new characters played by Adria Arjona, Stellan Skarsgård, and Fiona Shaw, who is playing a separatist insurgent. The show promises to have the tone of a spy thriller, so expect a lot of espionage and politics. And with writers from the Byrne franchise, House of Cards, and more, expect lots of scheming going into the show. On top of that, the show seems to have been well received at Lucasfilm because the show is already scheduled to film Season 2, so fingers crossed that this will be the gripping thriller that it promises to be. The second show set to be released in 2022 is Season 2 of The Bad Batch. The show is now set to be released on September 28th of 2022, which will have a total of 16 episodes. But given the delay of Andor from August 31st to September 31st, we can expect The Bad Batch to be delayed as well. This also means that there will be some overlap with the Andor release, so the more the merrier. The show is set to see the return of all the cast of The Bad Batch and the return of some familiar faces from the Clone Wars such as Gungi and Commander Fox. The show will follow The Bad Batch as they go around recruiting new allies, with their paths crossing with the likes of Gungi. On top of this, the central theme of the show is set to explore the band of misfits in their search for a greater purpose. Now that they no longer have a republic to fight for, The Bad Batch needs something else. The show has dropped its first trailer, which I already have a breakdown for, so feel free to check it out. The third and last show set to be released in 2022 is the animated TV series Tales of the Jedi. The name of the show is shared by one of the earliest and most influential comics in the Star Wars expanded universe. The original comics explored the ancient history of the Jedi and the Sith, so beyond sharing the same name, don't expect to find much crossover in terms of content. The show is set up to be an anthology series that will focus on multiple Jedi Knights during the prequel era. The show will have 6 episodes in total, half of which is focused on everyone's favorite, Ahsoka Tano, and surprisingly, the other half will focus on Count Dooku before he becomes Darth Tyrannus. Liam Neeson, who reprised his role as Qui-Gon Jinn in Kenobi, is set to return as the voice of Qui-Gon in this animated show. Some interesting details have revealed that we will get to meet Ahsoka's mother, who is voiced by Janina Gavankar, who was the voice of Iden Versio, which will be featured in the first episode. The second episode will feature an Ahsoka during the Clone Wars, and the third will feature a battle between an older Ahsoka and an Inquisitor, probably set during the era of Rebels. As for the last few episodes, not much is known except that it will follow the journey of Count Dooku. At the moment, it is not certain as to whether or not this animated show is a standalone project or one that is intended to have multiple seasons, but whatever the intention, the show promises to have some really interesting stories. So there are 3 shows that are set to come out for the remainder of 2022. There are lots of exciting new stories to explore as the Star Wars universe ventures forward, so I for one am super hyped for what is to come. Which shows are you excited for? What do you expect? Be sure to comment down below. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like. That's all for this video. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.